Hello, chocolate lovers and enthusiasts, and welcome to a special episode of the Caribbean Review, brought to you by IMCX. I'm joined by
Erika Cline,
owner and proprietor of Bleu Chocolát. We're here in the heart of downtown Christiansted, where the air is filled with the scent of cacao. And what better way to celebrate local success stories than by savoring some exquisite chocolate while we chat. So, Chef Erika, your culinary journey began at a young age with family dinners and an early cookie business. Can you share some specific memories of those days that deeply influenced your love of baking and, of course, chocolate?
So it all wrapped around my grandmother. You know, I loved being in the kitchen with her, and I mostly loved licking the spoon or the bowl, you know? So that was like my get in the door kind of way of being in there with my grandma. She was like my best friend when I was little. I was in the kitchen with her from 5 years old up, and I loved it when she would start cooking Sunday dinners on a Thursday for us all to sit down. It was like, I don't know, 12, 13 of us sitting down there and eating her food, which was amazing. Which something I wish we all can get back to, having family Sunday dinners. Definitely. So, you know, she would start making her pound cakes, sweet potato pies, and all these yummy goody things. And when people or my family would cut into her food, the expressions on their face, like she hooked us in, you know, because of the love that she put in our food. So that made me want to become a chef. I've never, except for being Wonder Woman, I only wanted to be a pastry chef. And that was it. That was my influence and why I love what I do.
No, I think that's dope. I mean, I agree. When I was a kid, growing up, family dinners was always super important. So I think that's such an interesting foundation of that being your peek into the curiosity of the world of culinary. I know, like, a chef that I used to admire when I was a kid too was Anthony Bourdain, and he says, you're not in the food business, you're in the service business. You're here to entertain and to entice. And I think chocolate does that because there's such a versatility when it comes to it. So my next question is, when it comes to your childhood experiences that help you to understand and appreciate food, have they influenced your career choices?
Oh, most definitely. I had some great parents. You know, they supported me along my culinary journey. And they realized that there was nothing else I wanted to do. At 8 years old, I had my cookie business, and it was named Erica Streets. I was selling all the cookies to my teachers in school. I wasn't on a corner selling them and trying to knock on doors. I was in school walking in with boxes of prepackaged cookies, already pre-sold, ready to go. And from that point, my mom at 10 years old put me in cake decorating classes. At 12, I was already decorating birthday cakes, wedding cakes, anniversary cakes. And I was making money. You know, I've never had not a full pocket of money in my pocket, you know, since I was little. So continuing on, my dad worked for the government as a bank examiner, and my mom was a school teacher. So in the summer times, we traveled quite a bit. So we ate at some really high-end places, which just helped me to work on my palate just a little bit, define my palate. And it was always dessert first. I mean, I had a mom that would feed me chocolate cake for breakfast. And so she just created this little pastry chef, you know?
Definitely, and I think that's super cool. And I think when it comes to chocolate, I'm pretty sure the palate has to be one of the most refined things.
Yes.
I mean, there's so much versatility with chocolate, and I mean, I think that's dope, being able to have those experiences shape the way that you now have Bleu Chocolát. So I think while something interesting I was reading about is that you were working under Master Chef Milos, and it was probably the most incredible thing where you got to learn at the feet of a master. So what were some pivotal lessons you learned during that time?
Well, you know, we called him Poppy, you know, and Poppy, he taught us some real lessons. I was 19 and just, you know, a young little black girl in a culinary experience of all white men, you know, and he was Austrian, so he was very strict. Back in the day, you know, you could get cussed out in Italian, German, French, whichever, but and you still say yes sir, a tear going down your face, but you knew where to go, you know. And he taught me my foundation. Even though I was I have my culinary degree, whichever, he just enhanced my foundation. I would always go in to the restaurant, which was called the Golden Mushroom, and it was in Southfield, Michigan. I would always go in a couple hours early. Why? Because I wanted to be with Poppy. I wanted to be in the kitchen with Chef Milos, and he only made the French onion soup, you know. And so we would be down in the basement kitchen cutting onions, and tears going down your face, but you're listening to all the stories that he was telling, because he just wanted you to know that the world is a big place, and it's not just in that basement. And so he encouraged us all to travel, to eat at high-end places, eat in little bitty mom and pop places, because you never know what is going to enhance your palate.
And I mean, something interesting that I learned is that you were part of the original contestants on the Bravo's Top Chef Just Desserts.
Yes.
And then you were later a judge on the Food Network's Rock and Roll Pastry Challenge. How did these television experiences impact your approach and your career in the culinary arts?
Okay, so I was the executive pastry chef of the Peabody Hotel in Memphis when we did Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And that was like the real first time for me to like deal with anything television. And at that time I had like 19 of assistant pastry chefs with me, and I was just about the kitchen. I was about putting a beautiful dessert on a plate. I had no idea what TV was. I didn't know how to speak on TV. I didn't know how to present myself, and I was very shy. Now, if you didn't have the camera on me, I would be like, blah, 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 right? Now you put the camera on me, and I would be like this. And they're like, Erika, you need to talk. You know, I learned how to project my voice, how to sit and be proper, how to, you know, I had to learn all those things, but I didn't learn until after the show. The show wanted you to be the reality of food television. They want that grit. They want an attitude. They want you to show, oh, you're kind of being mean and really critical on things, and that wasn't me. You know, I am a pastry chef. I was just along with those contestants, and I saw their struggle, you know, they didn't want me to be that sensitive person, right? So then, quite a few years later, that's when Bravo Just Desserts Top Chef came along, and at that time I was in Florida at Ponte Vedra Inn and Club, 5-star, 5 diamond. I've never worked at anything less, and I was on there. It was 13 episodes. I did up to 7 episodes. And they wanted me to be that little black girl with the attitude. And I was like, no, I can't do that. For one thing, you know, my family was watching. And another thing was, I just wanted to do a good job. It was my first time really representing as one of the first black women in pastry on national television on a show, and I just wanted to do a real good job, you know. I won a couple of the contests in between the episodes, and I was super proud about it, you know. But I kind of found out that was not my thing. You know, I could coach someone to be on a show. I could judge a show now with a little grit, but still have that sensitive side. But me being a contestant, nah, not for me.
You have to be yourself.
Yeah.
No, I think that's dope, and I think that speaks volumes to, I think, something chefs I think a lot of people think that chefs are very gruff and mean, but I think in recent times they've tried to rework that image, because I think a lot of chefs want to realize that they want to enjoy the experience. They want you to learn the knowledge, because I think my favorite line, don't laugh at me, audience, was from Ratatouille, everyone can cook. And I think in every sense of the word, I think that is such an amazing discovery for yourself. as a young black woman to realize that you're not going to play to the rules of society that they deem on TV to be what they feel a black woman as a chef should be. So I think that sticking to your gut is very resilient. Now to my audience, for Bleu Chocolát, our owner, Chef Erika, says, a day is never good without chocolate. And I think that speaks volume about your passion. Can you delve into how this philosophy drives your daily operations and creativity at Bleu Chocolát?
It's so funny. I came up with that motto back in 2006. I was one of the top 5 African American chefs named in Black Enterprise magazine and also in Ebony magazine. And so they flew us out to New York to cook with all the top 25 African American chefs back in that day. And they said, "What's your motto?" And I was just like, I don't know. They're like, "What are you going to make?" I'm like, "Well, something with chocolate." And they're like, "Okay, what's your motto?" I said, "A day is never good without chocolate," right? And then that stuck, and that was since 2006. So now it's 2024. And I wake up saying it every day because why? A day is never good without chocolate. Chocolate is good for people. For one thing, it's good for your heart. It's good for your blood circulation. Also, it makes you happy. Chocolate, love, and happiness. I also say that. That is what's behind a day is never good without chocolate. And people look at me like, you know what? That is so true. And people love to come into our shop and they're like, "Oh, I don't eat dark chocolate," and they try the dark chocolate and they're like, "Holy macamoly," and they really enjoy it. So that's where that comes from. And my little definition behind it is because it makes you happy, it's healthy for you, and it puts a smile on people's faces.
No doubt. I think chocolate is one of the most coolest things in the world, and there's so much that you can do. I mean, the biggest thing on Instagram, I'm sure my audience has seen, is people now working with 3D sculpting with chocolate and trying to make these insane designs. And I think that chocolate has now taken on a life of its own.
Oh, most definitely. It's a whole nother world. I mean, it's so funny. I was just in Paris last year, and they've never had Cruzan chocolate before. I went to Salon du Chocolat, and just for them to taste it, and I walked with Cruzan chocolate and never left this island before. I left here with 15,000 pieces of chocolate. And I just handed them out to people in Paris at Salon du Chocolat. And we got rave reviews. People across the world loves Cruzan chocolate. And that's one of the main reasons for us being here. We have cacao growing in the rainforest. We're making it be in the bar. We want everyone in the world, and you, to know that our Cruzan chocolate is worth putting in your mouth.
Definitely. I think that's amazing that we're doing that, and I think that's something so phenomenal you're really trying to be being to table.
Yes, exactly.
And I think that is dope. And I think most important to my next question, before we get into the Cruzan chocolate, is creating new chocolate flavors and confections. What inspires you, and how do you translate those inspirations into your products?
So I've been a pastry chef for 35 plus years. Okay, so that history of that just kind of rolls into me being a chocolatier for the last 25 plus years. And it's usually because I love to eat dessert. I love sugar. I love sugar. And I want people to taste something that's completely different. But at the same time, we are on an island, right?
That's
so
true.
we have to have our Caribbean flavors up in there, right? And our guava, our passion fruit, our tamarind. One of my favorites that I've been doing for the past 11 years is our lemongrass. And people go, "Lemongrass chocolate?"
Right?
What?
Wow. I know.
And when they place it on their mouth, then I said, just let it lay on your mouth, on your tongue. Let it melt on your tongue, and slowly that lemongrass is going to hit you in the back. And then it's going to flow to the front. And people are like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, it's just like a fine wine. That's what chocolate is. It's a luxury.
Sure is.
fine cheeses, fine wine, and fine chocolate.
And for my viewers, that's a quote. And I'll say this though, and I think I know why you have such a niche for chocolate. Believe it or not, in the Caribbean, chocolate is something very interesting to us. I mean, I know when there's a rainy season or it's during the December season, I mean, we get actual chocolate sticks and we make home style Trinidadian hot chocolate. So I think that in our essence of who we are as Caribbean, Afro-Caribbean islanders, or wherever we are, I think chocolate, and I think that's why chocolate here in Bleu Chocolát is super unique. So, Chef Erika, I see you have some interesting treats for us here.
I do. Are you ready?
Yeah, I think I am.
You think you are? All right. When you go to a gourmet chocolate shop, you'll see some bonbons, and they're hand painted. And most people don't understand that. They're like, oh my God, they're so beautiful. Oh my God, I don't want to eat them. I'm like, please eat them. Because we take the time to make them beautiful. But what you're eating is, everything is the essence of chocolate. Most people don't realize that you wear chocolate on your body. I wear chocolate on my body every day. Cocoa butter is the fat of chocolate. It's the essence of chocolate. It's in our makeup, our shampoos, our lotions, all these things. And we are chocolate people. We all are chocolate people, which I love to say, and people giggle because it's so true. But even on our bonbons with all these beautiful colors, those colors are colored cocoa butter, you know? So I'm going to have you take your time. When you bite into it, you got to let it lay on your tongue. You're going to taste all these flavors. But we have 15 different flavor bonbons, you know, and some Caribbean flavors and some of my favorites or whichever. We're going to start off with the lightest one. And it's a white chocolate lemongrass, and it's this one right here.
All right. Let's see.
Oh, you just close your eyes like I'm ready.
That's actually pretty good. Wow. No, that is really good. No, that's really good. Like, seriously. And I like busty, man. I get what you mean by, like, you start getting the flavors of the lemongrass coming up.
Back to the front.
No, that's really good. No, that's really tight. That's phenomenal. No, I think that is phenomenal.
So from there, we're gonna go with our passion fruit. It's the heart right there.
And to my viewers, I'm a big fan of passion fruit. So. No, that is wow. The chocolate and the passion fruit together make a really good combo. And then it's just like, it's almost like you're sipping a passion fruit drink. That's pretty good.
You guys, you have to see his eyes. They're fluttering. It is so awesome.
Oh, that is great.
So next is, I'm going to break this down. We're going to go dark. Okay? We're usually going to take a small bite of the dark tablet, which is our 65% dark chocolate. And put that back on the plate.
This is crazy. I've had dark chocolate before, but always instinctively, as soon as you bite into it, it feels more heavier. But this one has a more, I'd say a more richer, it's really...
A little coffee a little bit, and then there's some slight fruit tones up in there. For us with Cruzan chocolate, it's based like tamarind and soursop and mango fruit flavors that are kind of going to take over a little bit, but now you have quite a few flavors in your mouth, you know, so, but that dark chocolate has all of that in one.
No, that's really good for dark chocolate. I mean, I've bitten into dark chocolate before, but this is far more smoother, and I definitely get, like, I would think I had a cup of coffee, because I really do get that coffee vibe from it, but that's really good dark chocolate.
So one of my favorites, because we all love coquito, right?
I sure do.
Alrighty. So we started making coquito back in December, and we have a good friend that makes our coquito for us. And then we put it in our white chocolate ganache, and then we encase it in milk chocolate. So it's the blue one there. And I recommend you just bite half of it.
No, wow. Wow. So all my Boricans are going to have to come here and get this, because this is, no, you get like, the milk chocolate goes so well with the coquito, and the coquito, you taste the spice, you get the essence of, like, you're drinking some really good coquito, so you really get like the flavor quality of it, and it really just goes down really smooth as chocolate. This is phenomenal. That is just wow. What's funny is we're coming up on July, and we already know we're on a countdown to Christmas. I'm a big fan of Christmas, we didn't know, so this just warms my heart and making me get ready to know that in a couple weeks away, I'll be getting to have some homemade coquito soon. So
nice.
This is just wow. This is wow. I'm like speechless, because this is it's like really such a good combination of the chocolate and the coquito, and then the spice from the coquito. It just makes it worth it. I mean, Chef Erika, you have blown me away. And to my viewers, I like chocolate, but I'm not like the chocolate connoisseur of the world, but that is perhaps some of the best chocolate I've ever had in my life.
I have one more for you. Okay? So during Father's Day, I was like, I want to make a cigar, right? So we hand carved our cigars, filled it with chocolate mousse and toffee, and then dipped it in candied cacao.
Wow.
So I'm going to let you just open this up and then take a bite of the cigar.
Let's see. Wow. This, to all of that, just make sure you come and get one, because this is just wow. You get the taste of the toffee, the coating, and then just the richness and the smoothness coming down with the chocolate. And I mean, wow. This is really good. I'm not like overselling this. This is phenomenal. Again, this is probably some of the best chocolate I have ever eaten.
Thank you.
I mean, no, Chef Erika, this is like phenomenal.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. No, I think that is extremely phenomenal. So Chef Erika has just taken us through an amazing journey between some of the various items that are here in Bleu Chocolát. And I think her life story, her travel through to become a chocolatier, to deal in confectionaries, is a story that should be studied and honored as being something that is so immersive. And what better place than in downtown Christiansted, where it's a pillar of tourism, food, commerce. And I think if you are looking to have a good pastry to taste a fine refined chocolate, then this store offers that, I think. And I mean, Chef Erika has been so hospitable us today here on the show for the Caribbean Review. But Chef Erika, if I could ask one question.
Yes.
What would you say to the next girl or boy who wants to be a chocolatier or a confectioner?
What would I say? Be true to yourself. Put your ears close to your dreams. And when I say it like that, as in block off all the noise. You know, that's what I had to do. Be that chocolate nerd or that scientist, because this is food science. You can't do it without calculating this or that. But do it because you love it. Don't do it because you have to. For me, I do it because I love it. You know, will you make a lot of money? I don't know. You know, you can make a good living with it. You can. Food takes you around the world. I've been around the world, and because of food, you know, and that's what I would tell them. Food will take you around the world. Close out the noise. Love what you do. Do it because you love it.
Definitely. To all my viewers here at IMCX's Presents, the Caribbean Review, this has been Michael Bell, joined by
Erika Cline.
We're here in downtown Christiansted, surrounded by the aroma of cacao at Bleu Chocolát. We'll see you on our next episode. Thank you so much.